Does this mean they're coming?
Yes.
Welcome back to my channel. So this is a TBR August is approaching video, and the reason why I need to do a video is because there's so much going on in August on our little community of booktubers and stuff, the people that I watch and some of the people that I directly speak to as well, and I've got my own thing going on as well, so I thought it'd be nice to do a video of what kind of stuff I'm going to be playing with in August. So, I'll tell you what, it's really hot. Everyone's talking about the fact that there's a big heat wave and that. And just, I love tea so much. I'm drinking tea, hot, boiling tea, despite how hot it is. I love tea.
All right. We'll kill him first and then have tea and biscuits. Yeah.
So, start off with the big one that Ollie from Criminal Ollie has been talking about constantly on his channel, where he's been doing like a weekly review of all sorts of books that he regards as trash. And there's other people getting involved as well. There's other co-hosts, but he's been doing a regular thing, so really sort of pushing what kind of thing you could read and what he thinks about some of the things he's been reading. He's been reading loads of romance novels and kind of scandalous novels, salacious novels, all that kind of thing. And somebody defined trash as books that were film and TV tie-ins, and so I've got a couple of those, but I have got something that I think just the cover and everything about it kind of looks really like sci-fi trash. It's an action sci-fi book, Ripping Time. So this is a time scout novel. I mean, I love time travel. I might not even think it's trash. I might really like this, but Robert Aspirin is quite a big name in fantasy. I don't know Linda Evans. Presumably that's not the actress, Linda Evans. Time Scout. I've never heard of this at all. But, I mean, that looks pretty trashy, if that's right. I do have trouble with this definition of trash. The trouble is, the thing with the trash thing is I'm kind of self-conscious about some of the fact that some of the things I really like, for example, Harry Harrison's Stainless Steel Rat. I love that book. And it's one of the first books I read, and one of the things that got me into reading, and I could never ever call it trash, and I don't think people do, to be honest, but it's still got lots of tropes and stylistic things in it that would probably have some parallels with stuff like this. So, you know, equally, some book tie-ins and film tie-ins are well good. So, yeah, it's a funny sort of thing to sort of say that something's really disposable and throwaway when it might be something you want to reread because you enjoyed it or whatever. But anyway, I've got my head around that, and I've found that up in my loft. Time Scout novel, and running with this film tie-in thing. I haven't read this yet. I've had it for a while, but I haven't read Tales from Jabba's Palace yet, so I could read that. I think they're from different authors. I think the different stories are from different authors. Yeah, Kevin D. Anderson. So Barbara Hamley, they do lots of Star Wars books. Timothy Zahn. I don't know the other. Oh, George Alec Effinger, who yeah, I'm not really sure about him. And A.C. Crispin. The others I don't recognise. So, Tales from Jabba's Palace. Jabba's Palace is one of the best settings in the Star Wars universe, so I'm sure that would be cool. And I found a standalone Star Wars book, Planet of Twilight, as well, which I've had for a while. Got Barbara Hamley's name there. So that can go along with that as well. So there's that. And there's the next two are linked with other events as well. So another next two things I'm going to talk about. So if we're still running with this idea that trash is film and TV tie-ins, then there are these Star Trek spin-offs. So Ishmael, it's Barbara Hamley again. There's tons of Star Trek books around, like literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But I've never read a separate Star Trek novel. So I think when I was younger, I might have read a film tie-in, like a novelisation of a film. But this is obviously a separate story, and I've never read any of these. There's so many out there. So that's Ishmael. Is that a good one? The back looked like a good plot. The Vulcan Academy Murders. So this is a bit of a murder mystery thing set around Spock. So that could be good. That's Jean Laura. Yeah. And then something that features one of my favourite Star Trek characters, and that's Operation Bajor, and that's Sisko, who was the coolest man in Star Trek. So my 3 favourite characters in Star Trek, Data, Sisko, and Worf. They are my 3 favourite characters in Star Trek. So yeah, Operation Bajor, I'll see what that's like. Well, I'll see what. This is a long list of books. I might get through all of them, might not get through all of them. But that's the Star Trek stuff. Because there's the Trek Book 2022 thing happening, as well as Garbaugust, which it links to that as well. And then Sean Standfast has locked horns, declared war on Trek Book 2022, and I do have a Babylon 5 spin-off book. I love Babylon 5 a lot, and I've got some non-fiction Babylon 5, but this is the first of the separate books by in the Babylon 5 universe, and I know they are canon, so I know that Straczynski was involved in writing the plot and stuff, but because I know when they came out, I was buying a lot of SF magazines at the time, and they were talking about the fact that he was involved, and he absolutely approved of it, and it ran alongside. Because the thing with Babylon 5 is the whole thing was conceived by one man, 5 seasons. It's a novel on TV in 5 parts. It's a hell of an achievement, and most of the episodes are written by him. So if there were going to be spin-off books, it's quite good that he was involved, I think. So book 1, Voices, I have that, so that looks like a Psycore thing. So I'll be reading that hopefully. And then I've got my own event, which is Audible August. So if you want to get involved in this, it'll be awesome. I'll probably do another. Will I do another video? I've done one already. I could do another one. I don't know. Sean reckons I should do another one. Audible August. It's about reading books that have got some kind of connection to music, songs, songwriting. Could be non-fiction. Could be fiction. So it could be a biography of someone. It could be the analysis of music itself. It could be some sort of overview thing about a particular kind of music or a decade in music. It could be something that just includes music but is like got other cultural features in there as well. But it could be fiction written by musicians, so I'm going to mention something in a minute. Or it could be a plot that heavily features music. So I know in my previous one I mentioned Moon Over Soho, which is the second Rivers of London book, and that's set around the jazz clubs. And have I still got this to hand? Yeah, you've got the Invention of Sound as well, which is like a thriller based around using sound as a weapon. And yeah, I've got that as well next to me. The Axemans Jazz, that's a murder mystery, I think, set around jazz musicians. I think it's in New Orleans. Set in New Orleans, yeah. That was set in New Orleans. But what I'm going to put on my radar, so I don't know if I'm going to get through half of this, but a while back I bought a book I didn't know this existed. It was quite a shock. But Steve Earle has written a book of short stories. So I really like Steve Earle's songs. I think he's a cool man. So I'm interested to know what he's like as a writer of fiction. So short stories, Steve Earle. So that's interesting. I've mentioned this one before, but this is a really good one to read about how you can, different things you can do to increase your confidence and your how you can train your brain a little better to deal with being more resilient and being more confident, and how you can channel that into your music. So I think that's kind of an interesting sort of neuroscience book there. And then I do want to read this. So this is about the history of Black American folk music. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. I've read similar books and always loved them. And then, as far as the biography side of things, I really want to read my biography that I bought. Well, I got for Christmas. Sorry, I got it for my birthday. This was a present for my birthday recently. The biography of Howlin' Wolf. So Howlin' Wolf's my favourite blues man. So I'm really... there's another person that howls, Henry there. Howlin' Wolf. Really dying to know what this is like and want to get stuck into this. So that's almost a certain thing that I'm going to read in August. And then I've got this out of the library, which is a biography of Nina Simone, and this is apparently based on the documentary that her daughter did on Netflix. So sounds quite authentic, so I'm looking forward to that. So that's another biography I'm going to read, hopefully. So all of that, it's quite a lot, and I don't know, until I was like trying to get through this 30 book challenge I was doing, I was kind of averaging about 6 to 8 books a month. So that's a lot of books what I've just listed there. Although, you know, if those trashy ones are just sort of action based and rattle along at a fast pace and not particularly literate, then maybe they're faster reads and I'll get through them quicker and I can read all of those. I don't know. Biographies I tend to read slower, so I tend to don't know if you're the same, but I tend to read those a little slower. So if you are involved in any of those, if you're reading something, I'd love to know what you're reading. And big shout outs to the people that have been doing those, either Garbaugust or the Trek Book 2022, or Sean's Babylon 5 counter action. And obviously there's my Audible August. I'd love it if people got involved in Audible August. There's a few people that have said they're going to do something, which is cool. So yeah, just read anything that's got music or songs in the plot, or a non-fiction thing about music, or anything about music at all. Would be awesome. Hello everybody. So this is a little postscript to the video you've just seen. So hello Gareth from the previous video. This is a postscript. I have finished my 30 book challenge, and I went hunting for some stuff that could be relevant to these events that are happening, and I've actually found some things that I can include as more options for Garbaugust. More options for Garbaugust. Okay, so I found some books of the Saint. So there's Signor Saint, and I read a little bit of it. It's definitely outdated. And the Saint steps in. So the Saint steps in, and Signor Saint. And a similar vein, probably, I found a Nick Carter book. So this is a horrendous cover. And it's called The Human Time Bomb, and I'm assuming it's going to be probably the trashiest out of anything that I might be reading for Garbaugust. So Nick Carter, The Human Time Bomb, and on two of the themes I've already mentioned before, possibly. I don't know if I've mentioned the actor theme, but I found these well cheap, which is, I thought, I'll go for these. I really like the series Gotham, and this is a prequel to Gotham. It's quite for a throwaway thing that's going to be a bit of a distraction. It's over 300 pages, but Gotham: Dawn of Darkness and Death of the Planet of the Apes. So this is where you find out what happened to Taylor. So Taylor is obviously Charlton Heston's character, and I found this kind of cheap, so I grabbed this, and that's another option. Planet of the Apes. I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan, actually. I'd like to do a video at some point on the films. I'm a huge fan of the what's his name, Matt Reeves films. I thought they were really good. I was already a huge fan of the original film and a few of the others, but I was well impressed with the last three. And then the other thing, so one of the things that's been included in the definition of trash, according to the hosts, is books written by celebrities. So clearly that means that no writer is a celebrity. So I can go, oh look, Arthur C. Clarke, he's a celebrity. No, that's not what they meant. So people who are moonlighting and doing this while they've got a different main income. So I found some interesting things on that sort of front. So I know Ollie talked about Gene Hackman book that he thought was really good, and I'm intrigued by this Ethan Hawke book, Ash Wednesday. He's written a few books, and he's interesting man. I've seen him interviewed. He does seem to be quite an intelligent guy, and this could be quite an interesting book, Ash Wednesday. Anyone read Ash Wednesday, Ethan Hawke? That's one option. And also, randomly, I didn't know this existed, and there's a book by David McCullum. So, one of the Man from Uncles. Once a Crooked Man. I think this is a crime novel. I'm not really sure. I haven't delved too much, but I grabbed it because I thought, well, okay. And it was only 20p, I think it was. There's a quote from Joanna Lumley, which is quite funny, because I'm not sure how important her opinion is on writing, but clearly it's a sapphire and steel thing going on there. So, David McCullum. Don't know what he's like as a writer, but I'm intrigued. I do like it when people do other things. I mean, I've always been impressed when you find out that a singer is a really good actor. I think that's cool. And people don't like it though. People don't like it when they do two jobs. They don't think it should happen, and they take the piss out of them, which is a bit naughty. Because why not? Why not? If someone's able to do other things, let's celebrate that. So anyway, that's in the definition of trash. So possibly Ethan Hawke and David McCullum. So that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 books that I could choose from for Garbaugust. Anyway, that was a little postscript. P.S. P.S. Thanks. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, thanks to the subscribers, because I obviously really appreciate it. And thanks for the people that comment and who get involved in these silly videos I put up. And thanks a lot. Bye.
Paint me a picture of what it's like to be